Great. So first of all, AI and machine learning are one of the big drivers of cybersecurity at the moment. So there are a few things that are really fast, changing the scheme and driving cybersecurity further, really fast pace. And one of them is AI. Others are things like network evolution, 5G and 6G latencies are getting smaller and capacity is growing, so that enables things like autonomous stuff, hyperconnectivity, mobile cyber systems, and when we are talking about autonomy, there is AI and so machine learning has a big role. Also, AI and machine learning as such is a big driver. First, as a tool for both cyber defense and cyber attack, but also as an interesting target of cyber attacks. Some other things are non-terrestrial network and their cybersecurity, and also quantum computing, which will change the scheme whenever we have a practical quantum computer on hand. But we are not talking about that today. So machine learning especially has several applications in cyber defense, because it's able to analyze large data sets, learn from patterns, make predictions. But basically, I don't know if it really predicts, but guesses something about the future when looking back. So basically, there are several characteristics of machine learning that are very useful from the viewpoint of cyber defense. I will cover some of these use cases, but not all of them. So there are like tens of use cases in cyber defense for machine learning and AI, but I will talk briefly about some of the most interesting ones. It's good to notice that there has been solutions for these problems for long, and also with machine learning, but mostly without machine learning. So basically, and when machine learning is brought in these solutions, it's not question that we are abandoning the old things. So we are combined machine learning with traditional solutions. Another thing that is worth noticing is that machine learning is also already today heavily used also by cyber attackers. So no, it's not only question of cyber defense. It's also a question of machine learning that can help in cyber attacks. I will briefly present you 8 different use cases and then one extra. And we will see what's that one extra is. I suppose most of you are familiar with intrusion detection systems that has been around for at least 1 decade. Today, machine learning algorithms are widely used in analyzing network traffic. As we all know, there are thousands or millions or billions of devices in our network. So there are workstations, there are servers, there are different kind of network devices, and they are producing a lot of network traffic data. So it's impossible for human being to analyze it and notice what's happening in the network and whether something strange is happening. So that's why machine learning is widely used in intrusion detection systems. It's Machine learning algorithms can find patterns to identify whether if something bad is happening in our network, if something suspicious is happening, that may indicate some malicious activities like unauthorized access attempts or whatever. But basically, machine learning is able to find patterns that indicate that something strange is happening. And when that's happening, so then it might be a question of intrusion. One thing that is good to notice here is that basically, from the practical viewpoint, when we are bringing in intrusion detection systems with machine learning, it often happens that we get a lot of false alarms. So basically, it takes a while to fine-tune the intrusion detection system so that we get rid of those false alarms, and it's not always easy. So this phase usually needs a lot of extra work before we have an intrusion detection system that is practical and useful. So it's not easy always to take intrusion detection systems with machine learning in use, but when we have this, so they make our life a bit easier, or much easier. Another very typical use case is malware detection, where machine learning can be used to analyze characteristics and behavior of files. So how the files look at, what are their characteristics, and also if they are like executable files, how they are behaving. So machine learning is useful in differentiating between benign and malicious software, which is very useful. It can help in early detection of new malware strains. So this is very typical use and for machine learning in cyber defense. So and here it's good to notice that typically malware detection is a combination of the old fingerprint-based solutions and it's combined with the new machine learning algorithms. So in this way, we are actually finding new malware more efficient, but we are also getting rid of many of those false alarms with by using the traditional fingerprint-based solutions. So this is often a combination of old and new solutions to be the most effective. Then a third use case, which is user behavior analytics. So machine learning algorithms are used to monitor what the different users are doing. And here it's good to notice that first it's necessary to learn the normal behavior of users, and when this has been done, then machine learning can detect anomalies, which are like anomalies from the normal behavior. These are things like unusual login times or unusual data access patterns that could indicate a compromised user account. Here is also good to notice that basically if we are in a situation, for example, where we have a lot of suspicious behavior already in the network when we are installing these machine learning tools in our network, it may happen that actually it learns that the suspicious suspicious activities are actually normal activities. So like always, we are here dependent of the quality of the data which is used to teach the machine learning algorithms. So if our network is compromised when we are bringing these solutions in our network, it may happen that we have already lost the game. Hopefully, this is not the case. Machine learning can not only be used to monitor users, it can also used to monitor our endpoints like workstations, servers, or smartphones. Machine learning can be used to monitor activities on each individual device, and that might help us to find malicious activities on the devices or other signs of compromise. Not only malicious activities, there might be also other signs of compromise. So machine learning can be used to monitor both users and our endpoints. And basically, this is something that is at the current security situation, this is one really, really good feature, and using machine learning makes the traditional solutions much more efficient as whenever we have fine-tuned the solutions properly. So for endpoint security, machine learning is extremely important. Yet another use case. So when we are talking about log management and CM, we all know this, that we all know that there are as I already was talking about, there are many terabytes of log files that are actually really difficult or actually practically impossible to monitor by human beings. So this is a case where machine learning has a big role. So sifting through terabytes of log files and then trying to find out incidents and alerting about them, also helping to prioritize and correlate security events, and by having a good log management and CM system with an efficient machine learning algorithms, it helps us really to focus on the most pressing cyber threats. So not all threats are equal from our viewpoint, and basically this is really much connected to this sixth use case, which is threat intelligence. So as told, machine learning can be used to analyze great vast amounts of data from various sources and also used to predict emerging cyber threats. So this happens by identifying recurring types of incidents and the frequencies of these incidents, and also analyzing the potential causes of these incidents. In this case, also, it's good to know this that machine learning can be used to forecast future incidents based on historical data. And today, this feature is maybe not used enough. So I think that it would be really useful to when we have when we have a lot of historical incident data in our networks, it would be still useful to like use machine learning to scan through all this data, because it's possible to find there really interesting things that we haven't found earlier, and basically it would help us to predict potential severity of or impact of threats, and also finding really useful future trends that we should take into account. So threat intelligence is one of the areas that I would really heavily recommend to use modern machine learning based solutions. And finally, machine learning can also help in understanding the tactics, techniques, and procedures used by adversaries. Then the seventh use case, which I'm going to talk about a bit, is vulnerability management. If we think of vulnerabilities in our systems, there will always be them. Some of them are more severe and than the others, and there are a few things that actually like few characteristics of these vulnerabilities and also our network that actually dictate how serious these vulnerabilities are. One is exploitability. So how easy this vulnerability is to be exploited, whether there is already an exploit for it. Another thing is asset value. So basically, depending on the assets that we are protecting and how this vulnerability is actually affecting on our assets and which assets it's going to the affect, and basically machine learning can help in this by considering these factors, so historical data, exploitability of the vulnerability, and also the value of our assets that we are protecting and which are threatening if this vulnerability is going to be exploited. And this is one of the use cases where machine learning is bringing a lot of value when it's taken into use, when comparing to traditional systems. Then I like take the final before the extra, the final use case before the extra one, and that's forensics and incident response. So when we have had a security incident, then we can use machine learning algorithms. Machine learning can assist in analyzing the data to find the root cause and affected systems. So when we have had an incident, machine learning will help us to find which system has been affected in our network and what has been the root cause for this incident. Often there are common denominators or patterns that then precede a specific type of incident. So when there are always some similarities in the chain when this kind of incidents are happening, and machine learning can help in find these common denominators or patterns. In addition, we can use machine learning to group similar incidents together, and this helps us to find broader campaigns or threat actor movements. So machine learning can help us to find out whether there has been certain campaigns against us or even against like other similar companies or like broader like companies in Finland, for example. Machine learning can also use to recommend remediation steps based on the nature and features of the incidents, and not only recommend something, but also if we let it to do so, it can also act based on the features and nature of the incident. So it can analyze what has happened, and also we can let AI and machine learning to for example shut down systems and take the systems off the network. But then here we must like think really carefully if we let it do so, because if there is some you know, if the machine learning does some kind of error in its thinking, and then it can do more harm than be useful in these cases. So we must really care. We can let machine learning algorithms also act, but I would be really careful in letting it to do so. So quite often it's or today always it's kind of necessary to keep humans in the loop when we are analyzing and acting. So it's not question of only using machine learning in cyber defense in this area. Then the final use case, or the extra one, is that and this here is a source, so AI-assisted cyber attacks, and the reference is Traficom's publication Tekoälyn mahdollistamat kyberhyökkäykset in Finnish. And basically, I recommend you all to read this very understandable and broad publication about where actually the cyber attacks and AI are going to. So today they are mainly used for user manipulation, imitations, spear phishing, target selection, profiling targets, and things like stealing user IDs and passwords by guessing, bypassing biometrics or keystroke identification. But where we are going to is that it's the information collection is going to be more automated by using AI, so open source intelligence, but also other intelligence, and tracking our potential targets or selected targets, and also profiling our targets. So this is going to be more and more automated with the use of AI and machine learning. And all this is also heading to attacks that are difficult to observe. So whatever is how the attacks are progressing, and how they are operating, so it's easier to hide the attacks. And all this going to be more automated, so also finding vulnerabilities and automating phishing campaigns. And in a few years we will see, it's expected us to see the automation phase 2, where also the attack coordination, which is today more or less manual, so it's going to be automated, and also the attacks are automatically adapted to the target system. And they are going to even have large language models so that they can be modified on fly. And all this is heading to more attacks that are going to be there. They are continuous, and because they are adaptable and really difficult to find. So they are automated, adaptable, difficult to find, continuous attacks, and this is done with the help of AI and machine learning. So this is kind of competition of defense AI between attacks AI, and this is something that also researchers should be researching a lot, because this is where the cyber attack world is heading to. More or less, this was all about what I was about to say, and I also have spent my half an hour. So thanks for listening.